15 years ago, I watched myself back on national TV, as you know, and I did not recognize the woman on that screen. So I joined the gym the same month. I was 31, 3 little children, all by myself, and no idea what the hell I was doing. And then I spent about 3 years proving that. I was sweating a lot, I ate what I thought was healthy, and then nothing has changed. I'm 46 now, and I've been coaching women for over a decade. And what eventually worked for me wasn't a new plan. It was just a list of things that I stopped doing. There are five of them, and that's the whole video. None of them cost money, and all 5 are subtractions. So by the end of this, you will have less to do than you do now, not more. So number 1, I stopped using cardio to lose fat. I know, just bear with me. So for about 3 years, my entire plan was I need to move more. And probably this is exactly what you're thinking. Listen, classes, cross trainer, long walks, treadmill. If I ate badly on the Saturday, I did an extra session on Sunday to cancel it out. That was my strategy. And then, weight came off slowly, and then it just came back. And every time it came back, I looked softer than before. Here's what was actually happening. So, when you lose weight, you don't only lose fat. You know that, right? You lose muscle alongside it. And how much of this muscle depends almost entirely on whether you lifting. There was a cohort published last year, 304 adults, all on the same deficit. I was like maybe 500 calories a day below their measured requirements. And the only difference was what exercise they choose. So the people doing resistance training lost most fat, about 6.4 kilos. And then the cardio group lost 4.1. And the lifting group was the only group whose fat-free mass went up instead of down. And it was the same deficit. Different body at the end of it. I'll be straight with you about the limits of that study. It was retrospective and people picked their own exercise. So I'm not going to stand here and tell you that it proves cause and effect, but it points the same direction as every client I've had. And if you're over 40, this gets more important, not less. Because around menopause, women lose muscle faster than men at the same age. That is a documented sex difference. Oestrogen acts directly on skeletal muscle, and when oestrogen drops, muscle goes with it. Yes. So let me be precise, because half of Instagram is currently getting this wrong. Lifting does not regulate your hormones. Lifting rebuilds what your declining hormones have stopped protecting. I still do cardio. I walk. I like walking. It's good for my heart and it's good for my head, literally. But it has never been the tool I use to change how my body looks. I just spent 3 years finding that out the slow way. So now I can share it with you. Quick thing before number 2. If you'd rather I looked at what you're actually doing instead of you guessing, there is a link in the description and it's my application form. That's it. Okay, back to the video. Number 2, I stopped calling it healthy and started counting protein. Yes, let me give you context. For years, I ate what I would have described as clean. So salads, soups, fruit, rice cakes, anything with the green label on it. I was eating maybe somewhere around 60 grams of protein a day. And I didn't know that because I have never counted it once. Here's the number you need. The research points to about 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of your body weight a day. That's Morton and colleagues in the British Journal of Sports Medicine. Yes, I've checked that. 49 studies pooled, and above that figure, the extra protein stopped producing measurable gains. So for a 70-kilo woman, that's 112 grams a day. Now, look at what a normal day actually gives you. Porridge with berries, 5 grams. A meal deal sandwich with high protein written on the front. I picked one up recently, 10 grams. A protein bar, often 8 to 12 grams for 400 calories. What a joke. That's a woman who has eaten 3 times and is sitting at 25 grams by mid-afternoon, needing another 87 before bed. She's definitely not getting that from the chicken salad and the yogurt at 9 o'clock at night, period. Here are the real numbers of real food. Write this down because this is the entire fix for you. 150 grams of cooked chicken breast, that's about 46 grams of protein. A tin of tuna, about 25. 170 grams of Greek yogurt, that's about 17. 100 grams of cottage cheese, about 11 grams of protein. 2 large eggs, about 13. 1 scoop of protein powder is about 24. 2 of those at every meal and you're done by dinner. It is not that complicated. It's just different from what you're currently doing. And while we're here, stop throwing the egg yolks away. I know, whoever told you to do that was thinking about somebody eating takeaway 5 nights a week. Literally. For most healthy people, the cholesterol in food has a modest effect on the cholesterol in your blood. If you've been told by a doctor that yours is a problem, that's a conversation with them, not with me. But if you're just doing it because someone said in 1998 you're binning the most nutritious part of your breakfast and then wondering why you starving by 10:30. Number 3, I stopped changing my program. It's that simple. I used to change my program literally like every 3 weeks or so. Literally. New exercises because I have to shock the muscles. New split. Something I would see somebody else is doing. I told myself that I was taking it seriously. So some new exercises somewhere and I was like, oh yeah, I need to do that. It was boredom. Yeah. Your muscles can't read. They don't know an exercise is called a Bulgarian split squat. Your muscles respond to how much load goes through them and how close you get to failing. If the load never goes up, the signal never changes, and neither does your body, baby girl. This is the most common thing I see in women who come in already trading 4 or 5 sessions a week for a year, lifting the same weight in month 12 as she lifted in a month 1, and generally baffled about why she looks identical. No, she's not lazy because clearly she's coming to the gym 5 times a week. She's been showing up the whole entire time. That's what makes it so frustrating. So what I do now takes about 4 seconds. Before the set, I look at what I did last time. Then I try to beat it. 1 extra rep or 2 or and a half more kilo. Not every session, most sessions. So you have to write the number down. If you can't tell me what you lifted last Tuesday, then it didn't go up. And if it didn't go up, you've just done 6 months of maintenance and called it training. Number 4, I stop weighing myself every single morning. And I do advise some of my clients to do that, but that's a different story. Yeah, but hear me out. For a very long time, the scale decided what sort of day I was going to have. Up half a kilo? Oh my God, such a bad day now. If I was down half of the kilo, that was beautiful day. That was generally how it operated. The scale weighs literally everything. Everything inside you. Food still in your gut, water, blood, it cannot tell you what any of this is made of. Every gram of carbs you store as glycogen holds through 3 grams of water with it. Did you know that? So a decent dinner, some salt, a hard session, a normal point in your cycle, and you can be 1.5 kilos heavier in the morning without having gained a single gram of fat. You then take that number personally, because I did too, and you eat differently because of it. That's the actual damage. One of my clients was about to spend 120 pounds on a smart scale that claimed to measure her body fat percentage. Bless her. She messaged me to ask whether it was worth it. It wasn't, because those things aren't accurate enough to detect the change you're actually making over a few weeks. She would have spent 120 pounds to be lied to with more decimal places. Here's what I do instead. Weigh yourself as often as you like it, but only ever look at the weekly average, and only ever compare it to the average from a fortnight before. Measure your waist every 2 weeks. Photos once a month. Same light, same time of the day. The trend tells you everything. Tuesday morning tells you nothing. And number 5, I stopped starting again on Monday. And I know you hear it everywhere, but this one is very important. So a little story behind it. In 2017, I stopped training completely for 3 months. The reasons and everything around this, that's just a separate video. And I might do it at some point. And listen, I'm a coach and I stopped. It happens. So when I eventually came back, I was weak, I was soft, and I was very unhappy about both of these. Here's what that taught me. And it's the only thing on this list I would call important, just like I said. The damage is not the sessions you miss. It's how long you wait before you go back. A week off costs you almost nothing. It happens. You'll be back where you were within a session or 2 maybe. But 6 weeks off costs you strength that then takes 2 months to rebuild. And that's the bit that makes you feel like you are starting from behind again. Because you are, literally. And the reason most women turn 1 week into 6 is, yes, Monday. You miss Wednesday, so the week's already ruined, right? So you'll start properly on Monday. And then something happens on Monday. I had a client hit a genuinely bad week about 7 weeks in. Missed sessions, ate badly, everything. She came back on the Thursday. 4 days off, instead 4 weeks. She told me afterwards that had never happened to her before. Not once. She had never re-entered midweek in her life. There was always a Monday. So the rule is the next session. Not the next Monday, not the first of the month, not New Year's, nothing. It's just the next session. So that's the 5. Cardio as a tool, not counting protein. Changing the program every week or 2. The morning scale. And obviously, the Monday. Look at that list again. Not one of them is something I added. Everything that worked came from taking something away, which means you probably don't need a new plan. You need to stop 4 or 5 things that are quietly canceling out the work you're already doing. And you are doing the work. That's the part that makes this so annoying. Now from here, you've got 2 options. You can take these 5, apply them yourself, and see where you are in 16 weeks. Some of you will. It's all in a video. I've held nothing back. Or the second option, you can send it to me. And again, the first link in the description is my application form. Every client I take, taking the pictures of what they eat and films the videos, the lifts that actually matter. And I have a live access to the weight log. I would rather look at what's happening than be told about it. Yeah? Most people find it very uncomfortable for maybe about a fortnight. It also works faster than anything else I've tried, trust me. Yeah, as I said, At the beginning, I've wasted 3 years. Either way, do something before Monday. Before tomorrow.